Hello, this is the My Artifact episode number 3487. Today's date is 12th of July 2025. It's been almost like a night at 10:37 p.m. Alright, I am really tired today. Yes. The reason is that why I'm really tired. I usually never really feel that much tired, but I am feeling this tired is because of two reasons. Okay, first reason is that ki yesterday I masturbate, means last night I masturbate. Okay, and day before yesterday I also masturbate. So it's really fucked up. Yeah, means I'm straight up masturbate at like 10th of July, then 11th of July, and I'm like really fucked up. Yeah. Usually, each masturbation has almost like a 3 to 4 days of gaps. Okay, yeah. But I don't know yesterday what the fuck is happened with me. I just masturbate and like basically the entire day is feel it's not really tired, but it felt like that right now I'm feeling really tired. It's like that I don't really have um anything to do. I don't want to do anything. Like basically I just upload only one reel. I haven't really uploaded. Yeah, like usually I decided to do two design per day, but unfortunately I upload only one design. What exactly happened? Yeah. Okay. The also I'm telling you why I upload only one design is because of that today I went with my friend to somewhere like in RV to kind of like a celebrate some sort of celebration, and because of this thing I was not at home, and that's why I didn't really did any kind of like some design. But if I was at the home, I would definitely gonna do that design. Okay, but the problem is that I didn't really went to run. Also because of that key, yeah, I was there. Okay, I am not really properly talking that much well. I don't know why. Okay, um, there is a lot of wrong thing is actually happened with me today, and what is actually wrong thing happened? Yeah, just tell me step by step. Okay, first thing is that yesterday I masturbate. One wrong thing. Today I wake up at 7:30. Okay. After I wake up, I feel tired. I don't know why. I feel really tired. And then I don't know. I ate breakfast. Okay, yeah. I ate breakfast. I record Artifact. Okay, yeah. While I was recording Artifact in the morning, I feel good. I feel that yeah, let's record things or something like that. And then after that I decided that like today is that today we have like me and all my friends are actually gathered to went somewhere, okay, for celebration, for celebrating something like we went to kind of like something the naming ceremony or things like that. Okay, I will not gonna talk about this thing in Artifact. It's a kind of like a some typical celebration, so we went there. Okay, yeah. We actually went there at 1 p.m. Okay, yeah. So and I ended my Artifact at 10:30 p.m. Okay, yeah. Then I mopped the floor, then kind of like simply just took the shower and things like that. Okay, and then I ate my lunch. Okay, I didn't really eat too much lunch. I ate just two rotis and dal and things like that. Okay, and I straight up doing my designing. Okay, because I knew that today entire day we're gonna spend over there, so I might not have the time to kind of like do all those things. So I was kind of like making my design. Okay, yeah. Then at 1 p.m. friend called me, Prashik called me that we have to go there, so we actually went there. Okay, yeah. We celebrate everything, took a photo, laugh and things like that. All right. We came at 6:30, almost like a 6:45 p.m. Okay, as soon as I came, I kind of like took the shower. Okay, and then after that, I sit in front of my desk and start doing my design. Okay, I did my design, and right now, I just ate my dinner. Right now, recording artifact. Yeah, but what exactly wrong thing happened? Like the only one wrong thing happened that ki you just masturbate yesterday. Well, yeah, but the problem is that na ki like I don't know how do I supposed to explain. It's a kind of like a something is this thing ki because I am not that feel good or I'm not really that much energetic. Everything is feel really off. Like from my point of perspective, it's going really well. Like designing went really well. I did my design and things and stuff like that. But it's the way that I'm putting the energy to make my work today. I'm not able to put that effort or put that energy into my work. Like basically what has actually happened now, while I was kind of like assembly in the morning before Freshie called, I was kind of like doing my design. So while I was doing my design, I was like like basically is this thing, it's a very simple design now. It took me like basically I did design almost like maybe 500 design, okay, till now. And right now I'm literally expert in kind of like a Photoshop and kind of like to create my design. And today's design is really not that much kind of like a very complicated. It like basically I do have experience that key within almost like a half an hour I did my design. But today I didn't really did that. It took me almost like a 1 hour straight. Okay, huh? And I can't even think how do I supposed to draw the line, how do I supposed to do those things, how do I supposed to, it's like what the like very simple tools I it's really hard to me to use in Photoshop. I say, like what the fuck is happening? It's just like, and my brain like just kind of like it's only pointed towards to shut down. Just like I just want to just lay down and things like that, but I don't want to because I have to be like basically this thing that kid. What exactly I plan that key till almost like a 1 p.m. I have to be complete my design and kind of like a only make my reel. Okay, yeah. Like this is my kind of like a simple plan that key basically the first design should supposed to be happen within a 1 p.m. Okay, yeah. Then rest of the then kind of like a assembly. If there is something really remaining, I will be done it at the evening means like right now. But like the effort, the efficiency that I feel every day while designing my today, I didn't really feel that energy. Just like fuck. Yeah. But when I spent time with my friend, then the vibe was different, the energy was different, but still energy was not really that different. Yeah, because I laugh, yeah, I spend times, it's really good spend time, but still I don't know how do I supposed to explain. I am not kind of like a somebody living it full on potential. It just feels something really that key, something I'm absent or little bit absent, or maybe I'm not fully present. It felt really like that. And just yeah. So I only made one design today. That's it. And basically why this thing is kind of like a something very wrong thing for me is that ki I plan that ki I have to be do design, I have to be make 2 design per day, I have to be upload 2 reels per day. But today I only upload only 1 reel, and this is something really fucked up. Shit. Whatever. Yeah, just it happens. It happens. Yeah. Right now I'm recording artifact, and I don't want to be kind of like I feel really tired and things like that. So, what exactly I will gonna do? Right now I'm gonna record artifact for almost like half an hour. I'm gonna make sure I will gonna talk really good. Okay, yeah. Then I just directly went to sleep. Okay, yeah. And I might like basically every day I usually sleep 6 hours, 6:30 hour. Okay, 6:30 hours, 6 hours and 30 minutes. But today I'm gonna sleep at least 8 hours. Okay, 7 to 8 hours. Yeah, it's really essential for me. Okay, So should I continue this artifact? Yeah, let's continue. Like basically, let's just explain the stuff that we are like. I know I'm really tired, but it's not really that tired that I can't do it. I can do it too. Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's push myself a little bit further. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about questions. Okay, what is the actual question? Okay, yeah. How many people have this problem, and are they already paying to solve it? Okay, okay. What exactly is this question? Okay, I don't know. You might not resonate with this question, but it yeah. Let me explain what exactly is this thing. Okay, so this question is actually associated with the business. Okay, specifically associated with the failure of business. Means like that ki like basically almost like a 90% of the business is actually fail within a 5 year. What is actually reason behind it? What exactly is this thing? I want to establish a startup. I wanted to establish a business in the future. Okay, yeah. And I don't want to do any kind of like a simply such a mistakes. Okay, yeah. So asking this question is kind of like a simply being aware of that key what will gonna happen or what might gonna happen, so that I'm bit ready regarding about what should I supposed to do. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of like a simply the preparation. All right, yeah. Now regarding about this question says that ki how many people have this problem and what are they already paying to solve it. Okay, yeah. Means like that, like let's just like you won't be able to explain understand this question unless you knew the first question. The first question was that what specific problem in my business solving and who cares about it. Okay, yeah. So regarding about the first question, I gave the answer that ki my business, my startup is regarding about the artifact episode. The things that you are actually hearing is called artifact episode. Okay, yeah. It's a kind of like a self journaling. Okay, yeah. But usually self journaling means writing, but instead of writing, I'm kind of like a change into the recording. This is a kind of like a some artifact. I'm recording this artifact for almost like a 10 year. I started recording in 11th of February 2015. Okay, and I'm recording this thing every single day. Because of this recording artifact and kind of like a some self, it just improved me a lot in so many ways. Okay, I think very clearly. I lot of things. Okay, I don't want to brag about me how this thing happened, but it's felt really good and things like that. Okay, yeah. It gives me purpose in my life, and yeah. So basically is this thing that ki I wanted to kind of like make a app so that people will gonna make their artifact. Means like that kind of like assembly or recorder app that people will gonna record their artifact. Okay, yeah. And also those people will gonna share those artifact in their platform, like a artifact platform. My app is kind of like a simply YouTube. Means like that people are actually upload their videos on YouTube platform and other people see their work on YouTube platform. This is what exactly is it. Like basically people will gonna record the artifact in my application name artifact, and people will gonna kind of like a listen someone's artifact in my application name artifact. Okay, I just kind of like a mention artifact multiple times, but do you get it? Okay, it's a kind of like a simply YouTube. Okay, yeah. But there is a one thing is that ki YouTube video you can share that YouTube video in multiple platform like WhatsApp or anything. Yeah. But my platform artifact is not meant to be share the artifact. Like basically is this thing, the artifact doesn't really meant to be share. Okay, you cannot share this artifact or this audio thing. You can't able to share this thing in WhatsApp or anywhere, nothing really at all. Okay, as well as my application is actually provide the privacy. Okay, yeah, means like that the name of the user is kind of like a something else. Okay, yeah. Like make sure that the person who is actually recording the artifact, that person should supposed to be kind of like a simply private, should supposed to be kind of like a simply that key, like not known who is that person. Why is because it's really essential that key when you record the artifact, you make sure that no one kind of like a knows who you are and what you are. It's kind of like a something that key, if like if someone is actually reading your diary, like basically have you ever kind of like a simply let you that ki your diary someone will gonna read, like have you ever do that? No, nothing like that. No, we want that ki our diary no one will gonna read, and this is what exactly the artifact does. Artifact is kind of like a simply preventing your name and things like that. Yeah, it does kind of like a share your thoughts to the rest of the people, but it will not allow your name, it will not allow your name, who is that and things and something like that. Okay, yeah, this is the kind of like a some beauty of my application, the beauty of this artifact, that key people doesn't really know who is that person that I'm listening this thing, this artifact and things like that. Okay, yeah, like basically the stuff that you are actually hearing right now, it's also a kind of like some artifact, but you are actually listening this thing on YouTube platform. Okay, yeah, because you don't know me. Okay, yeah, so there is no connection between you and me, only you just connect with my thoughts and kind of like a simply the whatever the stuff that I'm saying this thing right now. Okay, so this is what exactly will gonna be happen in my application, that people will gonna kind of like a just listen without knowing who is that person that I'm listening to. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, yeah, but why does privacy is kind of like only matter? Well, I mentioned multiple times in artifact, but still I'm gonna talk that key privacy is somewhat something really essential, because of that user feels something really comfortable. Okay, yeah, comfortable to share their thoughts and things like that. Okay, yeah, because what is actually happened na ki we already have so many thoughts inside of us, but we won't be able to share those thoughts is because of that ki we always have hesitation that someone might be kind of like a judge us, or like someone might be says this and that वगैरह. This privacy is kind of like a something stop that hesitation, it not get that hesitation, nothing like at all, because I want that ki every person should supposed to be record the artifact, because it adds so many things, values, and like so many blowing thing, dude. It just is a lot of thing. Okay, yeah, it, I don't know how do I supposed to be it work, but it work really well. Okay, yeah, so I want that ki each and everyone should supposed to be record the artifact. Okay, yeah, without being hesitation that ki someone kind of like a somebody person will gonna kind of like a somebody knows you, nothing like that. Other person might know what is actually you stuff that you're talking, but your name, where you are, what are you talking about, it's completely kind of like a somebody isolated or kind of like a somebody eliminated. Even if at the spur of the moment you might gonna mention your name or things like that, my algorithm will kind of like a somebody kill that thing, or kind of like a somebody that key add some sort of kind of like a beep over there to kind of like a somebody the other user or listener might not know your name and things like that. Okay, and how does this happen? Like I did mention this thing in a previous artifact. You just okay, yeah. So this is my business. Okay, yeah. Now question is that ki, like basically how many people have this problem, and are they really paying to solve it? What exactly is this question? It means that ki the stuff that you are mentioned regarding about your artifact and things, and it will gonna add values and stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff, is it actually work? Like basically, why are you so confident? Like I am confident because I'm recording artifact for last 10 years, so that's why I'm literally confident. I'm telling from my experience. All right, but why do I supposed to trust you, or why do I like why I do that? Like basically it doesn't really bother me, nothing really at all. Like I don't want to share someone thoughts, or I don't want to share my thoughts, or I don't want to listen anyone thoughts. Like why the fuck do I do that? Like I don't want, like basically is this thing now, like basically from normal person point of perspective, why do I do that? Ask this question. Yeah, why do I do that? That's a really okay, yeah. So definitely, yeah, it's a kind of like a simply that na ki okay, let me explain. Okay, yeah, I don't know how am I explaining this thing properly, but yeah. So basically almost like a thousands of year ago, okay, yeah, we actually if we wanted to kind of like a somebody move something from one place to another place, we are kind of like a pushing them. Example, pyramid. Okay, yeah, the every block of the pyramid is actually people who actually push forward and things like that. They didn't really invent the wheel. No, like a wheel can really helpful to make this process really smoother, really flexible, but no, they kind of like only push the entire 100 ton of block by themselves, by the people. Okay, yeah, this is really hard. Okay, yeah, really, really hard, really, really hard. Imagine that ki if I went back in time and I'm kind of like a make a wheel from kind of like a cart or things like that, and I'm kind of like a show it to them like this is the wheel, use this wheel. Can those people will gonna use this wheel, or can these people will gonna kind of like a simply utilize this wheel to kind of like a move that 100 tons of block from one place to another place? No. Why? Is because of that ki why do I like basically this thing now ki we are human. Okay, yeah, and every time we going to kind of like somebody we are when we are kind of like somebody get something new technology, we are really kind of like somebody hesitate to use this technology. Why? It's kind of like somebody a human behavior. Okay, means like that ki we trust people so easily, but we can't trust technology that much easily. What do you mean by that? Like basically I don't know, but I experienced this thing multiple times. My father is a kind of like a person who is kind of like somebody that he doesn't really believe in technology, nothing really at all. Like basically we have this UPI. Okay, yeah, like basically we can send money from mobile from one person to directly their bank account. Okay, yeah. So basically what exactly happened that ki I told my father that ki if you wanted to send money, you just have to press this thing and you can do this thing. Okay, yeah. After sharing, after kind of like sending the money, my father kind of like somebody make sure that ki does that person get the money or not. My father called him that ki does you get money, does you get kind of like a some bank message or things like that or something, and he says no, yeah, bank message arrive, like basically 2000 rupees is arrive in my bank account. Then father is actually literally convinced, like basically application is kind of like a showing that 2000 rupees is actually sent to the receiver bank account, but my father didn't really like believe in that thing. My father believe in people. Okay, yeah. And it's not kind of like somebody just my father's fault. No, it's everyone's fault. Like basically, like each person is actually believe in other humans, but each person can't really believe in technology. Okay, because we might not connect with the technology that much, because technology is kind of like a something very different thing. A human to human connection is a very different thing. Okay, yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you, it's same thing happened with the chat GPT. Like basically when the chat GPTs arrive, okay, yeah, people are kind of like something very hesitant to use. I know the chat GPT is really good, really get the AI kind of like a do this, do that, it's like really amazing things. Okay, yeah. But the people who kind of like somebody knows about the AI and functionality, only those people are actually using this thing. Still, like basically chat GPT actually came in 2023 or 22, I'm not really sure. Yeah. Okay. But since it came, the penetration of AI in common people are really, really less. Really less. Like basically is this thing, only the enthusiastic people are actually using the are only the enthusiastic people are only using the chat GPT or things like that. But other people or common people, they don't even know what the fuck is AI. Yeah, and this is what it is now. Like basically it's this thing na ki we are humans and we are still not really usually connect with the technology so much easily. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that ki if I'm say that ki because of the artifact it adds so much values and things and something it's really great from every point of perspective, you might not gonna believe at the beginning. Okay, and this is kind of like something happened, and I'm really expected that ki this should supposed to be happen, because it already happened with me na. Like basically when I was recording artifact na, I was like, what the fuck I'm doing, dude? Yeah, like basically at the time, like it was so awkward. First of all, talking to myself is like a legit awkward. One thing. Another thing is that why do I doing this thing? I'm not really sure why I am asking me that ki why do I do this thing? I am convincing myself that ki I should supposed to do this thing, but it doesn't really kind of like somebody have any kind of like some value or things like that. It's just like a fucking video. It just like basically when I started recording artifacts, video artifact, not audio artifact. Okay, yeah. I just kind of like suddenly set up the camera and things like that, and I started recording stuff. Okay, it's like really, really, really awkward. Okay, yeah. I am like not able to talk what the fuck I'm should I supposed to talk, but it just like, yeah. So at the beginning, it was kind of like somebody so much hesitation and things like that. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing at the beginning, like when I kind of like suddenly launch the app or things like that, very less people will gonna start using the artifact. Even if I market myself that key, it will gonna add values and things and does and does and does. No, like basically I'm expecting like basically my application will not gonna gain profit for almost like a 5 year after the launch. No, maybe just like maybe some people are using it, some people are not, and things and that, yeah. But like basically after the 5 year there is an exponential graph is actually happen, because after the 5 year people will might gonna know what is actually artifact, what is actually is this thing, and what is kind of like something add values and something like that, and then people have started using this thing and it will went skyrocket. Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing. The question is actually about kind of like something that key is your product or service, like basically what is actually the question. Okay, let me explain what is actually question, what is actually trying to tell me. Okay, as I mentioned, the question is actually find out the mistake is actually happening in the business, one thing. Okay, yeah, this is actually happened is the question is actually telling me that ki the owner or kind of like somebody, the person who started the business, that person is kind of like somebody so much attached with his business that he doesn't really understand from customer point of perspective. Means like that, as I mentioned, I'm kind of like talking about artifact is because of that I started this thing, one thing. I am kind of like somebody associate with this thing for almost like a decade. Another thing is that I really eagerly wanted to make an app. Okay, yeah. So basically I am kind of like somebody looking my application from my point of perspective. I am not looking my application from customer point of perspective. Okay, yeah, means like that the kind of like some importance that you have regarding about the artifact is kind of like something too much, but the importance of the artifact from a customer point of perspective is too less. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing that ki how do you should supposed to be earn money is that the customer doesn't really feel that much importance. Okay, yeah. And if the customer doesn't really feel that much important, then how does your business will gonna thrive? How does your business will gonna kind of like assembly earn money or things like that? Not, nah, not. Okay. So do you aware of that? Yeah, I do aware of that. Ki at the beginning, people will not gonna record artifact, or people will gonna hesitate, or people will gonna kind of like assembly that ki not want to do record because it's so awkward and things and that. I do know that, and also I knew that ki for 5 year at the beginning, like after I launched the app, I will face the consequences. Definitely, I will face the consequences that at the beginning I might not gonna earn any single amount of money for 5 years. That is the first thing that I know. Okay, yeah. Even if I earn kind of like a little bit profit, okay, that is good. Okay, like basically my luck is not that bad. Okay, but still I'm kind of like expecting that for 5 years I might not gonna earn any kind of like a single money from this application. One thing. Another thing is that it's just like that I will not gonna take any kind of like a some risk, or I will not gonna kind of like a somebody kind of like a do any kind of like a rational thing to kind of like a spend so much amount of money at early stage of my business. No, nothing at all. I am literally focused on that within a 5 year I might gonna kind of like somebody launch my app through my rented apartment. Okay, yeah. And within a 5 year I'm not kind of like a deciding to build the office and things like that. Nothing really at all. I will not gonna spend any single amount of money to kind of like a spend on something luxury item. Nothing really at all. Like even if I'm kind of like earning some sort of amount of money, but I will make sure that only the essential for only I will spend the money for only essential thing, like paying money for salaries of employment, like basically for the employee who is actually working for me, I will gonna give the salary. One thing, I will spend the money. Also, kind of like make the server smoother and things like that. Within a 5 year, I will gonna work on my application to make the process faster, and also I will gonna focus on marketing. That how do I supposed to make the marketing to kind of like simply attract customer and things like that. obviously those people will not gonna record artifact that much easily, but it's kind of like assembly, they will know about what exactly is this thing. Okay, and basically let me tell you one thing now, only one thing that ki my application will gonna perform or will gonna kind of like assembly boom is because of the word of mouth. Okay, yeah. Because even if I'm kind of like saying this thing that ki this application do this thing and that thing and that thing, how do I supposed to do that? Through the marketing. Where does marketing come from social media, obviously from the screen. And basically is this thing that ki thousands of people are actually marketing themselves on social media regarding about their course, their product and things and that, and I'm doing it again. What kind of like difference is add? Nothing. Everyone will kind of like ignore and things like that. Even if I'm kind of like assembly make a very creative ideas and things like that, no, nothing at all. So my app will only gonna kind of like perform really well through the word of mouth, that people will gonna start recording this thing, people will find some sort of values in themselves, and they kind of like recommend to the friend or things like that ki, dude, I'm using this app and it kind of like somebody adds so much values and things and something like that, you should supposed to do that thing. From the word of mouth my application will gonna work. Yeah, but still I will focus on marketing, make sure that, and also yeah, as I mentioned, I will not gonna spend so much money on marketing. One thing, why? Because of that ki I already have social media channels. Okay, I run kind of like a YouTube channel, and right now I just almost like a 1500 subscriber right now. Okay, yeah, but in the future I might have kind of like some couple of 100,000 subscriber. Okay, yeah, so probably is this thing I will gonna kind of like a market my product in my social media channel, because as I mentioned my not really mentioned by the way, my kind of like a social media channel is actually associated with the graphic designing and things like that. But probably is this thing like a thousands of followers is also had enough to kind of like somebody get some sort of lead from customer and things like that. Okay, so since I'm using my social, so basically it cost very less for marketing. Okay, yeah, so which is really helpful. But within a 5 year I will not gonna take any kind of like some ultra luxurious things or step to kind of like assembly, no, because I do aware of that ki within a 5 year I might not gonna earn any single amount of money. And if I'm even if I'm kind of like earning some sort of amount of money from the artifact, I will kind of like save it that money for kind of like somebody if the something disaster happen or something like that. Yeah, something. Okay, yeah, but dude, I'm gonna kind of like assembly explain. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk about one thing. Okay, yeah, even if you mention regarding about your app do this that, okay, yeah, like basically is this thing, after everything customer will not gonna kind of like assembly, they are not recording artifact, they just, yeah, then what happened, like within a 5 year your app will not gonna perform that well that you are kind of like expecting. Then what would you do? Would you wait for another 10 year that key like basically that app will kind of like work really well? Yeah, I will gonna wait another 10 year. Dude, why don't you drop it? Like basically this thing, it's not the kind of like a things that I would gonna drop. Okay, yeah, because it's my life, and it's the kind of like the only thing that I did, and it's the only thing that I might think that it's gonna work. Basically it's a kind of like somebody is saying na ki, I know in kind of like a business point of perspective, you holding one thing for very long period of time, it might kind of like somebody add kind of like a burden or kind of like somebody push you backward and things like that. I know, but it's just like that na ki, from my instinct or my point of perspective or in my gut feeling is actually telling me I will not gonna fail, or if I fail I will still wait for success, and that's it. I don't really know how I don't really know how, I don't have any kind of like assembly solution for that. I don't know. I just know it gonna work. That's it. It worked for me, and I'm kind of like assembly taking the decision from my instinct, from my gut feeling. Because let me tell you one thing, I'm 32. Okay, almost 32 by the way. Okay, and basically the life that I went through is like really fucked up. like I did this job, that job, this and that and that and that. When I started working for myself, I found a growth in myself. But when I started when I started kind of like a simply doing or living my life from another point of perspective, or another people kind of like somebody says me this thing, you should supposed to do this thing, and I started doing this thing, just kind of like somebody not doing the things that I want, and kind of like somebody the following the flow, that everyone is actually following the flow. So that's why I'm actually following the flow. Following flow means like that key, like do a job and things and that. Okay, yeah. When I started doing, when I kind of like somebody listening to the other, and kind of like living my life from another people perspective, I'm just kind of like dying every single day. But since I decided that I wanted to work for myself, I wanted to kind of like, this is my life, and every decision that I'm gonna do is for my life, to make my life better. Okay, yeah. And basically better means what? Like a better means not right now, better in future. So for that better future, I wanted to do things right now good. I wanted to do things right now, and for that do things, I'm gonna make my present really hell, to kind of like I'm gonna do day and night work and things like that for that better future. Okay, I'm gonna do that thing. And since then, I'm kind of like listening my thoughts and gut feeling and everything. I'm just kind of like doing it that. Right now, I am not really kind of like something successful. Okay, yeah, like I'm almost 32. I'm broke. I'm living with my parents. I don't really have any money, but still, I am believe that this would gonna happen. I'm just kind of like a feeling that I have inside of me that this is gonna work, and that's it. I'm just kind of like a somebody just gambling my entire life for that belief, and I know that this belief it just inside of me, it's kind of like telling me you are right, you just have to just keep doing it, and that's I'm doing it. That's it. Okay, yeah. That's some kind of like running the YouTube channel. Like I don't really have that many subscribers and things. I'm not really earning single amount of money. My father, my parents, everyone is like kind of like blaming you, what the fuck that you are doing with your life and things like that. But still I'm doing it. Okay, yeah. Because it is kind of like only that keep, I don't know, it's intuition, instinct, gut feeling. I don't know what the fuck that you are kind of like telling. It is that. So yeah. So even if, okay, yeah, my application will not gonna perform after the 5 year, or should you wait? Yes, I will gonna wait. Maybe I'm gonna wait for almost like a rest of the lifetime. Yeah. Then what about money? What about like how do you gonna survive and things like that? Well, I also have a social media channel, na? Like I am kind of like somebody making content regarding about graphic designing and things like that. I am gonna earn money. Okay, yeah. It's not kind of like somebody I rely on someone and things like that. Like sure, I will not gonna earn that much amount of money, but still I will gonna earn a money so that I'm gonna survive, or not only survive, but as well as kind of like a somebody having the employee in my company, and they will gonna work for me for 10 year and things like that. But yeah, but I will gonna do that thing. Okay, yeah. So this is what it is. Okay, yeah. I'm not kind of like somebody expecting too much amount of things and something like that. I just believe it will gonna work. It will gonna work. That's it. Okay, yeah. So regarding about this question says that ki kind of like aware of that kind of like a mistake will gonna happen. Okay, yeah. And this question is kind of like somebody letting me aware of that ki this will gonna happen. I'm kind of like aware of that thing. All right, this is it. I should supposed to end here, and thank you.